They were looking out the window at the fire down in the harbor, and in an instant, everything exploded, right? The window came in on my father. He was looking directly out, so all the glass came in on his face and his upper body. The doctors looked at him and determined that his eyes couldn't be saved, and both of his eyes were removed.
The first thing that struck the residents of Halifax that morning was the cold. A sharp December chill bit through coats and scarves, their breath rising in faint clouds. It was just another morning in the busy port city, harbor workers shouting over the clang of machinery, factory whistles marking the start of the workday, children's laughter echoing through frost-covered streets as they headed to school. At the railway station, Vince Coleman rubbed his hands together for warmth as he settled into his desk at the telegraph office. Another day of messages in and out, tracking arrivals, departures. Nothing unusual, just another morning. In a quiet home across town, Anne Welsh's parents dressed their daughter for the day, the scent of fresh bread still lingering from breakfast. While outside, the streets came alive with the sounds of carts rattling over cobblestone and merchants calling to early customers. Nearby, Dr. Clement Ligoure descended the stairs of his apartment to unlock the clinic below, its small waiting area already filling with the first few patients of the day. He expected the usual, a few coughs, a fever or two, maybe an injury from the docks. He had no idea that before noon, his home would become a refuge for the maimed and dying. Out in the harbor, the Norwegian ship, Imo, received clearance to leave the Bedford Basin. It began to move, engines groaning as it picked up speed. At nearly the same time, on the other side of the channel, the Mont Blanc, its hull packed with almost 3,000 tons of explosive cargo, was given the signal to enter. The anti-submarine nets were lowered, and it slipped into the harbor, following behind another vessel, oblivious to the danger ahead. The city carried on, storefronts opened, workers gathered at shipyards and warehouses. People bustled through their morning, oblivious to the slow, inevitable path of destruction unfolding in the Narrows. The Imo and Mont Blanc spotted each other too late. A miscalculation, or a miscommunication, whatever the reason, the gap quickly closed. Dock workers turned at the sound of distant shouting. Hands stilled, conversation quieted. Eyes turned toward the ships now locked in a desperate attempt to avoid collision. Metal met metal, a grinding impact, a shriek of steel, then fire. The Mont Blanc's deck erupted into flames, its volatile cargo suddenly a ticking bomb. Smoke billowed, black and thick, a warning sign no one fully understood. People gathered at the water's edge, drawn by the unfolding chaos. And in a single instant, Halifax would become the site of the largest man-made explosion before the atomic bomb. In the next 15 minutes, thousands would be dead or wounded, and the city would be forever changed. Have you ever heard of the Halifax explosion?